Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions, and that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of even if we didn't have a deficit. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big, but no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. Not at a time when so many Americans are already cutting back. Just as families are living within their means, government should too. Did you know the federal government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers? They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website. And there are hundreds of similar sites that we should consolidate or just get rid of. By the way, you're not only paying for websites no one needs, you're paying for thousands of buildings all across the country no one uses. For the last decade, the government's owned a massive and completely empty warehouse in the middle of Brooklyn, for example. Now, the government hadn't been able to sell this building and others like it because of red tape and Washington politics that held things up for years. But we're finally cutting through all that and plan to get rid of these buildings in the months ahead. We need to step up our game. We need to go after every dime. We need to make government work for you. That's why, starting today, I've asked the Vice President to lead a renewed effort to hunt down misspent tax dollars in every agency and department of this government. We're calling it the Campaign to Cut Waste, and I know Joe's the right man to lead it, because nobody messes with Joe.
There's a new standard by which the government is going to function from this point on. The American people are entitled to transparency. Look, a lot of this depends on new, sophisticated methods, but it also, we know, depends on relentless focus on making this a priority. Focus that can't be delegated. We're holding ourselves accountable, and we're deeply committed and focused on making government function better. We're not just eliminating fraud and waste. We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue. We're going to give you the government you expect and deserve.
Very interesting to hear this individual speak on saving money when this is the same individual that spent $36.2 million just trying to cover up the fact that he gave the world a fake birth certificate. And now for this individual to tell us how much the government spent on useless things is very interesting coming from him. But did he really just mention that there are literally government buildings that are being paid for? Like the building that he said was in the middle of Brooklyn? This seeming a little bit too suspicious for me, but y'all drop in the comments what y'all think. If you want to know where the misspent tax dollars are going, just look at the people that's in leadership. Look at their vacations that they're taking. Look at their $3-point-something million homes. What do you mean you don't know where the misspent tax dollars are literally going? This sounds a lot a bit like DOGE to me, especially when you call it the campaign to cut waste. And then for him to say that he's leading it to Joe, you talking about the same individual that became the leader of the United States and literally turned it, if not more upside down, over? Come on now, y'all. Somebody help me make that make sense. I wonder if Joe still think about the American people being entitled to transparency when we know that no one has been transparent thus far to the people. Let not forget that Barry was not cutting agencies in half. He was computerizing processes, getting rid of paperwork and paper files, which let me know that he was just making up all this just because it sounded good. Because let's not forget, Joe literally overspent during his time in office. So I take that back. This don't even sound like DOGE, because they're actually looking into these files. It seems to be that they're literally trying to follow the money trail. So I'm gonna just say that what Barry was speaking about was just some words that he thought would sound good to help him with his success path. And I also believe at that meeting that he had with Elon that they might have spoke about something similar when they were speaking about the rocket SpaceX. I honestly think that Barry was just looking for more money just to fund his administration and some of the things that would help him, like the Obamacare. But I don't know. Y'all drop y'all comments and let me know what y'all think down in the comments. These are just my thoughts and opinions, and if you're functioning with me, I appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting me on a monthly, daily, weekly basis. And like always, clear eyes always recognize real lies, and like always, I'm always gonna have more videos. Somebody need to come get Elon for this one. That part. Though, as I always like to express in all my other videos, I am not here to turn non-believers into believers. I'm only here to bring y'all food for thought. And with that being said, your opinion is your opinion.
It's pretty difficult, let's face it. I felt like this was going to be a very hard life for both of them.
It was an unraveling mystery. It was kind of a distraction tactic. It's like you took them one way and
Michael and I also want to acknowledge
I mean, this dude is a genius.